Empire Magazine is finally giving us some details about Indiana Jones 5. 3 articles have come out over the weekend, and 2 of them are fairly straightforward, but the third dives into the villains played by Mads Mikkelsen and Boyd Holbrook, and that's what really caught my eye. I'll quickly address the first 2 articles, which insist that this is the final Indiana Jones film. Harrison Ford said, "I just thought it would be nice to see one where Indiana Jones was at the end of his journey," and director James Mangold said, "It became really important to me to figure out how to make this a movie about a hero at sunset." Okay, cool, but I can't help but laugh at the idea that we quite literally had Indy riding off into the sunset at the end of Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but it's fine. I'm still psyched for a 5th movie. It might be the last film, but I'm sure Disney will be finding a way to keep the franchise going. We've already got a video game on the way, and Empire Magazine itself has caught word of a Disney Plus series. But let's stick with Indy 5 and its villains. I've heard for a while that the story would take place in 1969, centered around the space race. I was wondering who the villains would be this time around, and the Soviets made sense given the setting and their prominence in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but we're going back to the villains of Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade with the Nazis, and they're doing it in a very surprising way. Mads Mikkelsen is playing Voller, a character inspired by real-life NASA engineer Wernher von Braun. He found his way into the American space program through Operation Paperclip, a secret program that brought former Nazi scientists and engineers into the US government, which is gross. If you've never seen For All Mankind, it's awesome first of all, but it's an alternate history show where the Soviets beat America to the moon. That prompts the American government to use von Braun as a scapegoat for their failure, revealing him as a Nazi and making him a social pariah, which is far less than he deserved. He was in the SS. Anyway, using the backdrop of the space race and the fact that there are former or maybe not so former Nazis in the space program is a really intriguing way to bring them into the story. Mikkelsen says of Voller, he's a man who would like to correct some of the mistakes of the past. There's something that could make the world a much better place to live in. He would love to get his hands on it. Indiana Jones wants to get his hands on it as well. So I wonder if he might be trying to find some redemption or some way to undo the sins of his past. I think that's an interesting character choice that would match well with the kind of person he is. The idea behind Operation Paperclip is that the US government would do anything to win the space race. They wanted victory at any cost, and it didn't matter who they worked with to get it. And that's also what all those scientists and engineers probably thought as well during World War II. They wanted scientific progress at any cost, and it didn't matter who they worked with to get that. So they worked with the Nazis. That all ties back to Star Wars very well. Victory and progress aren't inherently bad, but if you're willing to achieve your goals at any cost, that's the dark side. So I wonder if Voller will want to fix the evil he has put into the world, but if he is willing to do anything and work with anyone to make that happen, yeah, that's a villain right there. Voller's partner is Boyd Holbrook's character, Kleber. He describes himself as a lapdog to Voller, and a crazy one at that, so he very well might be the kind of evil that Voller views as necessary to find whatever artifact or device he's after. But those are all the new details so far. We will probably continue to see new articles in the coming days, and the full issue of the magazine releases on November 24th. Hopefully, that means a trailer is on its way as well. I know this isn't Star Wars, and we're in the middle of Andor wrapping up, but if you've never heard me say it before, I love Indiana Jones, and I've done the occasional Indy video in the past. I will continue to cover the 5th film when news or trailers drop, and I've got some lore videos ready to go as well. And we might even cover Willow while it's on. Probably not every episode, but it's all Lucasfilm, so why not? But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel for mostly Star Wars but occasional Indiana Jones content, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and remember, it's not the years, it's the mileage.